Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm just busy fanning myself with my mouse pad. I'm in the middle of a little bit of a hot flush at the moment. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a regular, welcome back. You will notice that my background has changed somewhat, and there've been quite a few changes actually in the past few months. But I wanted to hop on here at the beginning of 2025, and I thought that I would talk a little bit more about my 2025 reset. Now, to be honest with you, it has been a few months in the making. So towards the end of last year, in about October last year, I started changing things around, not only in my environment, but also in my skincare routine, my makeup routine, and basically my whole approach to all things beauty and all things material as well. So I've really scaled down, and I decided that 2025 was going to be a year of intention for me. So I'm going to be buying things more intentionally. I have become more intentional about the products that I'm using, and I wanted to take you through the things that I've mixed up and the things that have stayed the same. And I also want to hear from you what a new year means to you, and what do you do? Do you have resolutions, or do you have a massive declutter? Let me know. I'd be very keen to hear what you have to say in the comments. So I'm going to be talking today specifically about my skincare. Some of the things I am still using, some of the things that I swear by, and then there are some things that I have changed up a little bit, but I've definitely minimized my skincare routine. So just to remind you, I'm 54 years old. I do have enlarged pores, quite a lot of texture going on my skin. I do have fine lines and wrinkles. I am going through perimenopause at the moment. I am on HRT, and so things have changed quite a lot with my skin, and I found that just not everything that I was using was serving me. Some things were doing absolutely nothing. So I just wanted to touch on the things that I'm still using, and let me know how they compare to what's in your routine. So one of the things that stands out for me is a cleanser. Now, I have used a few different kinds of cleansers over the years, and I have gone back to, I've kind of changed between drugstore and high end, and most recently I have been using my CeraVe. I've gone through quite a few of these, and this is the SA smoothing cleanser, and I really enjoyed this. I do a double cleanse in the evenings, and this is the second part of it, just to get rid of any residual oil or makeup on my skin. But I have found over the past few months that this really does dry out my skin, and I tolerated it because I thought, well, you know, immediately after my skincare routine I am putting on creams and they'll mitigate the dryness, but having that dry, tight skin was just not something I enjoyed. No matter how soon afterwards I was going to put on my oils and my moisturizers, I just wasn't enjoying it. And so that was part of my intention, is just to use products that I really enjoy and love. So not necessarily high end or the most expensive, but when it came to the cleanser, this was one of the things that had to go. So I have replaced this, and I am now using, this is a local brand, and it is called Vitaderm. Now I'm using their mild gel cleanser, which I really love, and I do love this brand. I've used a couple of samples of theirs. I haven't used a lot of their products, but I was very impressed with one of their moisturizers. I also used a cream cleanser of theirs. I had a little sample, and I was so impressed with that I decided to go for the gel cleanser. So have really been enjoying this. It's not top of the range. You don't need a lot of it either, and it really does a beautiful job of getting my residual makeup off. So that is one of the bigger changes that I've made at the beginning of 2025. Now, on the subject of cleansing, I am still using an oil cleanser, and I've talked about many on my channel. I have got videos dedicated to them. So an oil cleanser would be the first step in my cleansing routine, to take off the bulk of my makeup and my sunscreen. And one that I have spoken about frequently, and I'd have to say that this is probably the best that I have tried to date, and that would be the Eucerin Atto Control Bath and Shower Oil. So it's specifically for irritated skin. It protects it from itching, but I use it on my face, as I say, as a pre-cleansing oil to take off makeup. And I really love this one because it does lather slightly as well. And I just really enjoy it. It doesn't have the best smell in the world. It's not fragranced, but it's the sum of all the ingredients that are in here that gives it its smell. But I've come to terms with the smell, and I really do enjoy this. It is very realistically priced. What am I trying to say? It's well priced. You do get good value for money. You only use a little bit of this. One pump takes off all my makeup. So still going strong with my Eucerin Atto Control Oil Cleanser. And then staying on the subject of oils, face oils. Now, I have never really been a fan of face oils, to be honest with you. I have tried some from Clarins. I've always loved the idea of a face oil, but I could never use it sustainably or use it repeatedly. I used to do it every now and again, and just the thought of having that film on my skin, I've suddenly just had a change. And I'll tell you why. I think it's mostly because of my skin. So the changes that my skin has been going through during perimenopause. I do have combination skin, but it does get quite dry sort of on the periphery. And of course I had the issue of it being dry straight after I've cleansed. So it's kind of, it feels like it's gotten a little bit papery, if that makes sense. So the texture, it's kind of more textured, although it is still pumping out oil during the day. So anyway, that's just to give you a brief overview of what my skin is like at the moment. But I've really fallen in love with face oils. Now, the one that I have been using for some time is the Derma TX. This is the multivitamin massage oil. And I love this one because it's quite a viscous oil. So it comes out like a moisturizer. It's the same kind of texture. You can see there on my finger. And I really like it because it makes it easy to use. So if you wanted to add a little bit of your moisturizer, you could then just pop another drop of your moisturizer on your hand as well. You just rub them together and just apply all over your skin. So I love the texture of it, and it just gives you a little bit of extra hydration in the evenings. Now, I have also been using a little bit of this in the day, sometimes during the day, if I want to get a real glow under my foundation, which is not that often because I do have enlarged pores, and as I say, I do have combination skin. But sometimes I just throw caution to the wind and I just say, well, people are going to have to stare at my pores today because I really feel like a little bit of oil on my skin. So I do use this during the day as well. Another oil that I've been using, also from a local brand, is the Skin Logic Omega Face Oil. Now, this has got omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in it. And what I love about this is that it's almost a dry oil. So it comes in a dropper bottle. It's not as viscous as the Derma TX, but it's got the same consistency as a regular oil, but it really does absorb into the skin. And I was sold on this when I received a sample of it, tried it out. It just goes to show you how valuable samples are, and I wish more companies would do them, because I have bought many a product on the basis of trying a sample, and this was one of them. I just really love it. So I do use this sometimes during the day under my makeup as well. I use it at night. I do mix it in with a little bit of moisturizer. So that is something that's fairly new to my skincare routine, and it's also just to mitigate the kind of paperiness that I feel in my skin while I'm going through perimenopause. And then another product that I wanted to talk about is glycolic acid. So glycolic acid is the gold standard in exfoliators. It really is one of the best, and I do use that on my skin in the morning. Another local brand, this one is from Skin Functional. I use this just to clarify my skin after I've cleansed in the morning. This is 7% glycolic acid, and I really do love it. I swear by glycolic acid, especially because I do have textured skin with enlarged pores. So this one has been a constant for quite a while, and I'm going to carry on using it because I really do enjoy it. And now onto the subject of my skin texture. So I did a couple of videos in the second half of last year where I was kind of at the wit's end with the texture of my skin. So as you get older, you probably will find that your skin if it's anything like mine, does become a little bit more texturized. Whew, I'm really burning up here. And your pores, if you've had enlarged pores, they will get even bigger. So your pores don't shrink with age. They generally, if anything, they get a little bit bigger because your skin becomes a little bit more lax, and so the walls of the cells become a little bit more lax, and so it is going to affect your texture and make your pores look a little bit bigger. There are very few things that you can do to mitigate that. You can use expensive laser treatments. You can do microneedling, which I believe is fantastic for pores. I have done it once or twice, but one of the things I went back to is my Retin-A, my prescription Retin-A. So this is the 0.05%, and I went back to using this. I've been using it over the last 6 months or so. I really do enjoy it. Has it made a huge difference to my skin? I think it's difficult for me to say because I've been using it for an extended period, so I almost forget what my skin was like. But I'm quite pleased with how my skin is at the moment. And I think it's probably as good as it's going to get without going for in-salon treatments. This is probably as good as it gets. So I've made peace with that, and I will continue to use my Retin-A because there is science behind it. And I do believe that, I've used retinols in the past, and I feel that this is the strongest form available to me. So why not use it if it works? So that's my story with Retin-A. And something else that I've been using religiously is my zip device. I have done quite a few videos on microcurrent and specifically on the zip. I really love this. It is just so compact. It's really easy to use. I'm using the crystal gel of theirs at the moment, and I have found that this has just been amazing in terms of giving me a little bit of contour, but also the nanocurrent has definitely helped with my skin texture. So I really owe a lot of it to this little device, I would say, and it's something that I've really been consistent with. Now, I have received sponsored devices in the past, and there are a couple that I can think of off the bat, and I'm not going to name them, but to be honest with you, they are things that I started off with enthusiastically. I put it in the drawer one day, and the next thing I knew, 5 months had passed and I just hadn't reached for it. If a device is not comfortable and easy to use, the chances are you're probably going to get bored and you're probably going to give up on it. And that's one thing I can say with my zip device is I haven't given up on it. It really is so easy to use. There are a lot of different programs for a lot of different things on there, and so that's something that I've really kept up with, and it's probably one of the only 2 devices that I have been consistent with. And then just a couple of other things that I wanted to chat about. The one is my SPF. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I do use the Nivea Sun SPF 50 oil-free. This one is the Q10 one. It's not the oil-free one. I've switched over again because I found that my skin, although it was pumping out oils, it still has some dryness to it because of menopause. And so I wanted something a little bit more emollient, so I have changed to the sunscreen that's not oil-free. And I love this as well. It works just as well as the other one. It sits really well under makeup. It does pull a little bit under certain foundations, but I have kind of worked around that because it's inexpensive, relatively affordable, should I say. And that means that I don't skimp on it. I do slather it onto my face and my neck, but it really is one that I have used consistently. So for my 2025 reset, this is definitely going to be staying in my stash. And then one of the other things this is the final product that I've had to start reaching for is body lotion. Now, I've never been a huge fan of body lotion. I do put lotion on my legs if they're really dry, but otherwise I've kind of steered clear, and the rationale was the same reason that I steered clear of oil on my face. It's just that kind of tackiness, going about your day with that tackiness, and just wasn't my thing. But with perimenopause, because my body skin has also become very, very dry, I have needed to reach for a body lotion. And I have found one which I really love, and it is the Weleda Skin Food body butter. Now this really, it soaks in, it doesn't sit on the top of your skin, which I think was the issue that I had with a lot of body lotions. It has got a lovely fresh smell. It's kind of got a hint of lemon. I don't know if that's the right description, but it's not intrusive. It doesn't take over. So really have been enjoying that. So guys, in a nutshell, these are all the things that I'm taking with me into 2025 in terms of skincare. There will be additions. I will add things. I like to experiment with different moisturizers as well. I haven't spoken about facial moisturizers here, but these things are all the core things that I'm taking with me into 2025, and a lot of the other things have fallen by the wayside. So let me know what you are using in 2025. Let me know if you've had any revelations or resolutions for 2025. Please leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.